And now on the line is John Ryan from the Longford Roller Rink. John, welcome to the programme.
Thanks very much.
John,
Nice to be here.
alright, John, before we talk about your latest news with rollerblading and inline hockey in Ireland, could you give me and our listeners a bit of a summary of the history and evolution of your roller rink and inline hockey in Ireland in general, please?
Yeah, well, obviously there's no ice rink in Longford or in Ireland, but a couple of Latvian guys that came over to live here about 15 years ago, they were using a rink up in Dundalk at the time, and when that closed down, then they'd no other facilities to train, so they set up a roller rink in Longford. That's the same, it's the exact same as ice hockey, except you've no ice and you've no ice blades. But what you have is it's like an inline rollerblade instead, but it's the exact same sport. Not as full contact, but a lot safer. So they set that up about a good few years ago, and it's been in Longford, opened up about 8 years, and it was going very well. We're affiliated with Inline Hockey Ireland. They're the organisation that run all the leagues and all the tournaments and stuff like that, and that's based all over Ireland. So it's there's teams from Belfast, there's teams in Cork, Clare, Galway, Mayo, Longford, Kilkenny and Dublin. So it's fairly big. I mean, a lot of people haven't heard of it, but it's very big and there's a lot of teams. But at the moment, we're not allowed to train, we're not allowed to do anything, not allowed to play any games, and we were relying to pay the rent and pay the bills on membership and by renting the rink out to Inline Hockey Ireland every weekend. And now we have nothing. We're not been surviving on what with the funds we had built up, and they're nearly out. We've about 2 months left, and that's it. Okay. And it's a shame because it's the only purpose-built roller rink in the country.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a couple of minutes. You're saying there about Inline Hockey Ireland. Is there a Northern Ireland organisation operating like in soccer? There's 2 organisations on the island.
No, it's just one. It's Inline Hockey Ireland, so it covers the whole of the country.
That's cool, yeah.
There's a lad up there that's the chairman of that would be Michael Crane he lives up in Belfast.
Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday. What gave me the idea of trying to arrange an interview with you, John, was seeing a photo of the inline hockey rink in Longford. It looks so big, it looks so cool, I think. It's a full-size rink, is it?
It's a full size, yeah. It wouldn't be as big as an inline or as an ice hockey rink, but it's perfect for what we do.
So it is, because somebody told me recently that it's a little bit smaller than the biggest, but you're saying it's a full size, yeah, for a roller hockey.
But then then there's another one up in Portadown, and that's slightly smaller than ours, so there is no exact.
Okay. Yeah, it looks. I used to play roller hockey when I was a teenager for a couple of years, and
oh wow, nice.
Yeah. The biggest place we played in was Closh Ede in Finglas, and your rink looks to me to be about twice as big as that, so I would have loved to play it. Okay, I played for a team called the Strikers. I don't know, have you ever heard of them, did you?
I didn't, no, but I'll definitely look them up.
Yeah, first of all, there was a league in DCU. It was just renting out the court from the university, and then they moved to Closh Ede. This is around 96, 97, So great crack. Anyway, we'll move on to talk about you're in trouble now because of the COVID. Yeah, could you tell me how the restrictions with COVID have affected your rink in general?
Well, we were having 3 training sessions a week for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we'd have games either on Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes both. So the memberships are bringing in. The membership isn't bad. For every person, it was €50 per month. That covered like 12 training sessions a month. So it was very cheap, and that was covering us for the price, for the rent that was due every month. And now we're not allowed to train because we're not classed as elite players. Even though the Irish team, the team that wanted to go to Colombia this year to represent Ireland in the inline or the World Roller Games, they train at our facility and up the north at the same time. But they're still not being classed. This is the problem, you see. In the last lockdown, we were able to train because we were elite, and now suddenly they changed it. So nobody's allowed to train.
And the government announced yesterday that there's going to be lifting of the restrictions, but you're saying it still hasn't kind of affect you as a change, no?
Yeah, because we're indoor.
Okay.
This is the problem.
Okay, John, who has the power by way of the sporting authorities to solve this problem for you, and what are you looking for?
Well, I was on to a couple of TDs and a senator about this, and they're going to try and talk to, I was talking to Senator Micheál Carrigy in Longford, and he's going to try and talk to the Minister of Sport to put our point across that, you know, even if we could get the elite players, the adult players, back to training and playing games, we would be able to survive without any funding, because that's the problem. We had no funding. We couldn't, because we're an organisation of volunteers. We're not a business. So we didn't fit the criteria for any of the grants that was available.
I believe the two ministers for sport are the senior minister, Catherine Martin, and Jack Chambers is our Minister of State. Is that right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, John, I think you've already answered this question, but what is your... If Jack Chambers or Catherine Martin are listening to this interview, and for the benefit of our listeners on Near FM as well, what would you like to say about the situation and future of inline hockey in Ireland?
Well, you see, they're talking about bringing it to the Olympics. So it would be nice for Ireland to have a team to represent Ireland in the Olympics. But if this place closes, there won't be any league in Southern Ireland. I mean, Northern Ireland is opening back up their roller rinks on the 24th of May. Back to normal. And just across the border, we can't do it. So I don't see the difference. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I believe because we don't have an ice rink in the Republic of Ireland, but that the Irish national ice hockey team are not allowed to play in international competitions and maybe the Olympics as well. So that's the same with inline hockey as well. Like, if we lose that facility, not only will we not have anywhere to train, but we won't be able to send a team to the Olympics. No.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the under 18s there 2 years ago. They played at the World Roller Games in Barcelona, and they done quite well for a country that, you know, it wasn't a national sport 10, 15 years ago. So, you know, we're competing at the highest level. We're not winning, but we're competing. You know, I mean, same as the Irish football team, they don't win, they compete. It would be a shame to lose the only roller rink, and there's a lot of money put into it. We have Yanis Keepers is who put most of the funding into it himself, so he owns anything that's in that facility. I mean, the floor alone is worth about 14,000 just for the floor. Jeez. That doesn't count all the boards and everything else that has been put into it. It'd be a terrible shame.
You mentioned ice hockey as well. Are you involved or have an interest in ice hockey as well? Because I understand that.
I love to watch it, and I love to. You know, I haven't played it myself. I played inline a little bit, but yeah, I mean, most of the players that would play also play ice, and even at one stage, members of our team in Longford were travelling to Dundonald, the ice bowl up there, and they were training and playing up there. But yeah, everything has stopped.
I interviewed Aaron Gully there recently from the Irish Ice Hockey Association.
Yeah.
Okay, John, it was great talking. You mentioned Michael Crean. I was talking to him yesterday, so I'm going to come back to him in a few weeks or a month or two to do an interview.
Perfect.
And
well, Michael is also fighting with Sport Ireland to try and get us, you know, that we can train as elite players.